I just had a super painful and awkward conversation with my ex via Discord about the fact that they're gonna come get their things from my apartment. Possibly Thursday. They said they'd let me know if they can come sooner. Like, we never lived together, but I made them a bed, like, in the living room. And, they kept a lot of their stuff here. And at the time, it was really comforting and it made me feel safe. Like, I was tethered to them. But, like, now it's awkward. And, like, I genuinely feel like I've been good luck babed, even though it is way more complicated than that and there's a lot more nuance. Genuinely, that is kind of what it feels like for me. It feels like, I don't know, I met my partner when they were married. They fell in love with me. We started a relationship, well, a hinge. It didn't work out. They broke up with me, and now they're with their husband still. And they could continue to still be with their husband. And half of them don't even like their husband that way. And I guess it's possible, like, if he learns to get to know every single part, if he can, like, romance every single part, then, like, maybe they will like him and they'll be fulfilled and happy. But, like, I love them and, like, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Part of me does, because it means that, like, the whole of this person that I love so much will be happy. But it also means I won't be happy, because I won't be with them. And just right now, it's so hard to feel like I need support from someone who can't give it to me. And I feel like I need support in the way that, like, you would want support from a partner when you're struggling. But we're not partners. I wish that, like, that Gabe hadn't told me that he wanted to marry me. I wish he hadn't asked me to look at rings on Pinterest. I feel like that gave me permission to get attached. I feel like that gave me permission to hope and to, like, plan. And now we're, like, definitely separating. And there was talk of, like, oh no, we'll always be in each other's lives, even though when the talk of the breakup first came up, I was adamant that, like, as a person, I'm not someone who can remain friends with an ex while I'm dealing with the breakup. And maybe that's selfish and I do feel guilty for it, but I cannot heal. I'm full of anger and guilt and resentment. And I don't think it's healthy for me to be experiencing that at or to or near them. And that's what's going to happen, because there's so much inside of me. It needs to be heard, it needs to be seen and validated. And they're, like, the only person I have been seeing consistently in my life. They're who would see that. And quite frankly, they don't have the capacity for that right now with everything they're going through. And I feel so guilty that I can't be there for them as their friend, that I'm so bogged down by my own shit. Like, I wish that I could suck all of this, like, anger and resentment and this hope and also hopelessness. Like, I wish I could, like, just suck it out of me and throw it away. But I guess I can't do that. And I don't know. I let them know that, like, I'm gonna need time. I'm probably gonna need a year or more, like, no contact. That after they get their things, like, I'm planning to stop calling and texting them. Well, granted, I don't call them, they call me. But I do text them. And also that, like, in a year or more, like, if they're single and they think back on me and they think, wow, I really liked her. Things were messy, sure, We had our differences, sure, but she understood me in a way that like no one else has. And they want to like reach out and be like, hey, I want to get to know you again, with like the intent to date, to be romantic, then I would say yes. I'd be guarded. I'm sure I'd be like scared and like prickly. But if they wanted to reach out again and try to rekindle things, then I'm here. I didn't specify the fact that I don't want to be their friend. And I wonder if that makes me a bad person, but I don't want to be their friend. Like, and yes, like, friends and partners are different. But what I mean is, I don't want to just be their friend. I'm in love with them. And I don't know. I might have to specify with them at some point that, like, if they do reach out, it has to be, like, romantic intent. And it's not that I don't want friends. Like, there's parts in my system that really do want friends, that prioritize friendship. And I do have friends. I have a few best friends that I talk to. Sometimes every day, but, you know, it can fluctuate based off of what's going on in all of our lives. But, like, I really do prioritize having a partner above everything else. And, like, I've been asked before, like, why can't you just be content with your friends? It's like, my friends have partners. I can't get the level of commitment and like quality time with my friends that I could if they were a partner. And ultimately that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone that can go through life with me, that can like hold my hand when I go to the doctors and vice versa, and go grocery shopping and cook together and get obsessed with like a show on Netflix together, have a favorite restaurant that we frequent, a specific path we like to walk on together. All of those things I really want. And I mean, I know Kai was my friend originally, and I cherish that. But what they were to me changed. And I don't know if I could go back to that. I think I have too much resentment. I don't think I could. And but if they do like have the intent to like they want to get to know me, like romantically, I'm open for that. Because Gabe said, he said in the future, like, if he can get his headmates on board, he wants to court me. Like, he's, like, very traditional. And that really, it really warmed my heart. And it made me feel like he saw this value in me that no one had ever seen before. And it felt good, because, like, I felt very used in the realm of romance. I felt like, where's this person who loves so deeply like I do? Like, I want to gaze into your eyes. I want to merge with you. Like, I'm the type of person that, like, when I'm with you, like, I want to be wrapped up in you. If I'll find out the things that you like, and maybe, like, if you have like a favorite design or a favorite cartoon or like a favorite anything, I might get a t-shirt with it on it or something to like hold you close to me. That's the kind of love that I want. I want the kind of love for where like feelings can just be an open dialogue, where I'm not a burden for crying or being anxious or like feeling like I don't have what it takes. Because I feel that way a lot. I feel very overwhelmed. I feel very helpless quite a lot. And I just want someone who knows that I'm not gonna like buckle down and stay there forever. I'm not gonna crumble. But I need in those moments, because then I'll have multiple a day where I just feel like I can't take it. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm sad. I'm lonely. I feel like misunderstood. I just want someone who'll be there, who'll give me a hug, and who'll know that it'll pass. And then, like, maybe we could eat, like, bread or pasta or something. Like, I'm not, like, God, I feel like I'm not, like, that difficult. I mean, or maybe I am, I don't know. My exes might have a different story. I've been talking to my friend Wayne about everything that's going on with the breakup, and he's like, "You were good luck, babe." And I'm like, I know. Like, and of course it is way more complicated than that. Like, way more complicated than that, and there's a whole lot more nuance involved. But if we're looking at like the bones of it, it does kind of feel that way. Um, my ex was married when I met them. They fell in love with me. We entered like a hinge. It didn't really work out. They're still with their husband. And I'm here. And that's hard to deal with. It's hard to allow yourself to love someone so fully. Like, to be scared that you're queer, that people are gonna judge you for it. Especially since, like, I'm a system. It's not like I'm just one type of queer. Well, I mean, I am, but, you know, and it's ever changing. And I wish that I could just be one person and things could be permanent. And I could just solidly know who I am. But I don't, and I don't know if I will, and maybe I have to get comfortable with that. But, like, Wayne also said that I do great coping with life 99% of the time, and then there's this 1% where I spiral out of control and I make a split-second impulsive decision that just fucks up my progress in my life. And I keep thinking, like, what would that even be? Would it be blowing up at Kai, like when they come to retrieve their things? Would it be being so silent and like seething in anger when they come to retrieve their things? I feel like it's probably better to keep it in than it is to let it out in that case. Would it be getting so dysregulated that like I angrily text them and I let all my anger out and I just go like, fuck you, I feel used, blah blah blah. And the thing is, I do feel used, but I know they didn't use me. Like, it wasn't deliberate. Like, they didn't go out of their way to try to make me feel used. Like, it's not that they used me, I just feel used. But like, I don't want to let my anger and my bitterness and my resentment make me say things that I regret and jeopardize a possible future with them, or honestly just hurt them, because what they're going through is a lot. Their whole life is falling apart, and because of the hinge, because of my romantic involvement with them, I just can't be there the way that they need, and I feel like an asshole. And then I think, like, what are the other things that, you know, could constitute spiraling out of control and being impulsive? Like, I guess self-harm is one of them, and that's something that I've struggled with a lot over the years, and it's something that's really difficult to talk about. It's really difficult to talk about the struggle to stop self-harm and to stay in remission, because if you're not careful with the way you word things, if you tell the wrong person, they're gonna think that you're threatening that you're holding them hostage, and they'll feel trapped, and like, I don't know, like they have to say the right things, like they have to be comforting, or you'll hurt yourself, and they don't want that responsibility, and that's fair. That's their prerogative, but then like, how do you talk about it? Like, I need external support. Like, if I'm struggling, I do sometimes, and I have a friend now that gets this, and it means the world to me. Thank you, Wayne. But like, if I feel like I'm gonna self-harm, I need to talk to someone. I need them to just tell me to hold on. I know that I'm an adult and I should be able to do this myself, but like, that's literally all I need, is someone to just tell me, don't, hold on please for me. Because I forget that people love me. I forget that I'm not completely alone. And I need to hear it. My kitchen is like absolutely a mess. I have no dishes left and I need to clean it. But I just can't will myself to, and then I feel like an asshole. I guess that's a reoccurring theme. I just feel like an asshole. I guess I wonder, like, is there anyone else like me out there? Is there anyone that understands? Is there anyone that knows, like, the struggle of being a late bloomer to such a degree like this? And God, I just keep going back to, like, why couldn't have my childhood been different? Why couldn't people have listened? Why couldn't have somebody been there to put a stop to it before, like, this became my life? Before I got, like, agoraphobia? Before my depression got this bad? Before the trauma became complex? I could have just had one dramatic event. It didn't have to be all of this. And I hear, like, criticism of people that I don't even know who they are. I guess they're imaginary. Just like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Why can't you just work harder? Why can't you get yourself out of this hole? I don't know why. I'd like to think it's disability. But oftentimes it feels like I'm not allowed to have disabilities. Like, that's not an excuse. I've had so many therapists where I would try to explain the extent to which I am disabled, and they didn't understand it, and they invalidated it. They'd be like, well, I don't understand, like, why are you disabled? And I'd be like, well, I can't sleep, and it really affects being able to think and function, and it affects my motor skills, it affects my word retrieval, it affects just my emotion regulation. I have complex trauma that affects like, it makes me scared of people, it makes me easily panic, it makes relationships hard for me, it makes like my nervous system, it's in overdrive so often, like it hurts. Because of all the fear, like, of people, because of the trauma, I just cry a lot. I guess that's part of the not being able to regulate. I'll be like, I'm depressed. Like, I've straight up pissed myself because I couldn't get up before. I'm just tired. And like, I know that's gross. Whatever. Whatever. If you're not mentally ill, like, I'm sure maybe you won't understand, but like, it's fucking tough. And then I've tried to explain, like, the autism, that I don't understand what's going on socially, and it's exhausting, and it's draining, and I don't know what to say, and sensory issues make things so hard for me. I need to be able to control my environment, and like, when I can't, like, it hurts me. Like, it'll hurt my skin, or like my ears, or just my body will hurt. Like, it is physical pain. And still they wouldn't understand. They'd be like, don't limit yourself. Don't call yourself disabled. I'm fucking disabled. I know I'm disabled, because it's not that I don't try, it's that I tried so many times and I wasn't able to get there. I wasn't able to do anything to help myself in the long term. And it took so long for me to be able to accept that I have these limitations. And I'm at this point again where I'm feeling limited because of it. And I'm hearing, like, all of these therapists from the past be like, oh, you're not really disabled, you're just not trying. You're just immature. And okay, like, yeah, I'm immature. And I'm immature because I have a lot of trauma and I'm stunted. And that in part is a disability, and that doesn't mean that it can't be improved, but it does mean that it does limit me, and it makes things so hard. Guess that's it for now.